Hello everyone, it is me, Bo Shevdasu. We are broadcasting live today here on Amazon Live. It is August 18th, 2022 at 4:30 in the afternoon, give or take a few minutes. We're not calling roll. This isn't Robert's Rules of Order. I am broadcasting live just south of Seattle, Washington. We have a fantastic, fun show for you guys here today. We're going to be doing some unboxing of a recent Amazon haul that I just got today, so you can experience the first impressions, whether good or bad. We shall see. That's the beauty of these live broadcasts, because there's nothing cut out, there's nothing edited. With that being said, there's something to be said for B-roll footage, where I'm out actually using some of these power tools to see if they actually work outside of the studio. That's what makes this broadcast unique. That's what makes me unique, because I incorporate so much B-roll into my live broadcast. First, I do need to thank our wonderful sponsors, Tacticlip. These are tactical hair clips, and if you are interested in these guys, I will hook you up. All you need to do is follow and mention in the comments that you are actually following, and you will get some of these for free. That's correct. That's because Tacticlip is awesome. All right, let me actually break these down for you though, because a lot of people are like, okay, Bo, tactical hair clips, that's kind of a gimmicky thing, right? Well, the reviews speak for themselves. You can go look at the over 1,200 reviews on these things. Now, before, I noticed that there are these multi-tool hair clips, but these have a bottle opener on them, and unless you're a frat boy or frat girl who's just always needs a bottle opener in your hair, odds are this has a very limited use. And so along comes Tacticlip, not only the black color but also the blonde color, and so it depends on the color of your hair. They accommodate many different shades, and so this gives you the ability to essentially MacGyver yourself out of many situations. All of a sudden, you are innovative, you are creative, and you are adapting to your environment using the tools that you either have on hand or on hair. You get that? So these tactical hair clips, they basically have several functions built into them. So as you can see, this is the blonde function right there, or the blonde color. And so they have a raptor claw tip, meaning that you can open up packages, so Amazon packages, for instance, but they're not sharpened edges. That means that they won't cut your hair. They're perfectly safe on your hair, in as much that normal snap hair clips are safe on your hair. The difference is that there's other things built into this, essentially making it a multi-tool. So you have these this raptor claw tip, as well as a serrated edge, as well as a wire stripper, as well as a miniature screwdriver, as well as a ruler on the front and the back, laser engraved onto this. It's basically whatever you make it. So it is up to you to be creative to use these things. And yes, I have been through multiple airport TSA security screenings with these, because they're not knives. They're just hair clips. They don't actually have sharpened edges. Quite honestly, you could probably do more damage with a sharpened pencil. Not that I'm advocating that, but point being, they're perfectly safe, and they're a fantastic tool to have on hand in the event that a bad event arises. Always want to be prepared. Be sharp. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Then comes the tools that your mind has trained with. Tacticlips. How cool is that? Hey, let's move on to the rest of the show right here. All right, shall we start with an unboxing here? I think we should. Now, I have some drywall projects that I'm doing around the house, and oh, we've got a flashlight, an EDC flashlight. We're going to get to that later in the show. So drywall is messy. It's messy, messy stuff, and I've always tried to hire it out to other people. However, for the benefit of you guys, I wanted to actually unbox some tools because I can be fairly picky about tools. And so today we have the Gold Bolt drywall, and these are essentially tools. They're, you'll see. We're going to open this up right here, and you can get the first impressions of these trowels, so to speak. And these, what you're going to be using these for is essentially getting your drywall mud and trying to create as smooth a surface as possible. Now, these are my first impressions, and I did see a lot of reviews on these, and I was kind of incredulous because I'm like, am I really going to get the best bang for my buck with these things? First of all, no plastic packaging. That's kind of nice, so I can actually burn these things in my fire pit. That's cool. All right, so first of all, we have, oh, that's quality feeling. Okay, guys, already my first impressions, they're favorable. I know I'm not being sponsored or paid by this company. This was my own personal purchase. There's none of those shenanigans going on here, but that feels nice. I wasn't sure if this handle was going to be like, dink, that tiny, and I'm barely going to be holding on to it. Look at that. My entire hand fits on that. That's cool. So as you can see, you've got a bottle opener. I don't know why you would want that while on the job, but regardless, we're going to move on. And you have some sort of hex nut right there. You've got an actual, wow, oh, I see. That is a nail puller. Oh, that is cool. And then, of course, you've got this edge right here, which is not sharp. This is designed to scrape off paint rollers. Oh, that is cool. And then, of course, you have a sharpened edge on this side for those little incidentals. Let's say you needed to, scrape some masking tape off of a pole, like a banister or something, and that would wrap right around there like so. So that's the sharpened edge. That is the not sharp edge. And then the actual sharpened edge on top, that's probably going to be taking up 90% of your work, and you just do some scraping with that. So we're going to go ahead and continue to unbox this guy. We've got a large trowel. That's nice. Now, some of these blades don't actually have protection right here. So if you slip, you can kind of cut your knuckles, but this is perfectly safe. Fantastic. I was also not quite sure about the flex like that. So I really wanted to make sure that I'm going to be able to put some mud on there, and there's not too much flex, but also not too much stiffness. And as you can see, it's kind of right in between. I would say it's more on the stiff side comparatively, but that is a nice straight edge, and I'm going to achieve all sorts of nice flat mudding on my drywall with these things. We've got this guy right here. There's a bit more flex on this one, so the smaller spade has a bit more flex. That's interesting. I hope it's not too much. Interesting. So one question that I did see on the listing was, are you able to actually tighten the blade if it gets loose? And you can't. They are riveted in there and there and there and there and there. So 4 rivets going in, or rather 2, but 4 points on the outside. And so if you're looking to actually tighten these down, you won't be able to do it. Honestly, I don't see how it would get loose. And quite frankly, they are cheap enough that if they get loose, they're fairly disposable. Then we've got this paddle here. That is, okay, just testing the flexibility of that. And then we've got a bigger paddle like so. And that's slightly more flexible, obviously, because it's bigger. But yeah, that's good. That's really good. Another thing I wasn't sure about was the barbs on the edges. I did a lot of shopping around for these things for drywalling, and there were barbs on the edges, and you could see so many reviews of people saying you got to take some sandpaper to it. This would not require any sandpaper. You could basically pull them right out of the box and start working immediately. That's good to know. That's awesome. And they kind of have this rubberized textured grip. Very comfortable, even with my sweaty little palms. They're not going anywhere. And then also I wanted to know if this was razor sharp on the edge, and it's not. This is pretty sharp up top, which is what you want for these kind of tools. but not on the edge. So if you kind of slip a little bit and get your knuckle, which hopefully you won't with this rubberized grip, but you won't be cutting yourself. That is cool. Lastly, in the unboxing right here, we have the actual trough tray. And this is for the mud itself. Very nice, just conventional. Really all I'm looking for is a straight edge right here so that we can do our work and then scrape it off like so. And it looks like it has some pretty gnarly weld marks on there. Dang, this thing, can you hear that? That's solid, really solid. I thought this was just gonna be kind of one of those thin little trays that you would get from, you know, basically made out of tinfoil, disposable. This is not disposable. This I'm gonna be using for a lot of mudding. That's awesome. Okay, well done, gold blat. Gold, I think I said gold balt earlier, as in cobalt. It's gold blat. Sorry, manufacturer, if you're listening to this. This is the first impressions I've ever had of your tools, and congratulations. I'm highly impressed with how balanced these are, how comfortable these are. Yeah, well done. Hey, let's move on to another unboxing. The lid, cool. So speaking of drywalling, what you need is sandpaper. And this is just one of those things that drywall dust gets everywhere. They absolutely do. So I actually got an orbital Dewalt sander, and I wanted to know when I was buying these mess stools. That's a strange name, mess stool, but that's the name of it. This is exactly what I got, and their listing is so confusing. And so I wanted to buy this to actually show you guys what you get, because they were like, you get a pack of 100, and then you scroll down and it says 5, 40, 60, 100, and you're like, the main listing says 100. Basically, how much are you getting? That's what I wanted to know. And you can see right here, you get 100 in there, and I chose the 5 option. Do with that information whatever you'd like, but the proof is in the pudding. I chose 5 and I got 100. I think what they mean by 5 is you get 5 of each type, maybe? I don't know. But you can see that it is the hook and loop, also known as Velcro, but that's trademarked and we can't say that. Hook and loop is on this side. It's soft, so basically you get your orbital sander and you pop it on like so. And it's got pre-punched holes so that your sander can actually suck it up if in fact it has that function. And yeah, there's a lot more than 5 per grit, that is. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. Okay, and they're definitely 2 different grits. But there you go, guys. That's the main takeaway from this listing was, how many do you actually get? You get 100. So go based off of the actual listing title up top where it says Mestool 58-AP 100. You're getting 100. So you're welcome. I have done that. So now hopefully that answers a lot of questions out there. All right, let's move on to envelopes. I know this is a strange thing. So I just recently made a sticker, or rather a vinyl decal, and I put it out there on Facebook. There's a lot of wonderful people who follow me on Facebook, and this 100 pack of A7 envelopes, I wanted to know how they actually feel in terms of quality. So this is my first impressions of this guy, and we're not going to do this live. That is, go through live and count all 100 to make sure there are all 100. You're just going to have to take my word for it that there's 100 envelopes in there. Yeah, okay. All right, so now we're going to open this up. Isn't this just so much fun? This is so much fun. All right, cool. And I need a tape measure because that was one of the big questions was, is this 5 by 7? Is this 5.25 by 7 point whatever? Let me get a tape measure. There we go. Okay, moment of truth, guys. Moment of truth. It is 7 1/4. 7 1/4 in length and 5 1/4 in height. So what that means, if you have a piece of paper that is exactly 5 by 7, it will fit inside this envelope? And that's what I wanted to know, because these decals that I just made and I was going to be shipping to people, and I wanted something that I didn't have to lick or anything. You can see that these are very, very easy to just kind of pull off like so. That's going to be nice. Don't need all the extra calories of licking envelopes. Point being, if you have a piece of paper or a decal that is exactly 5 by 7, it will fit in here. So that should answer all the questions on the listing, because that was the main one in terms of dimensions, because the dimensions were all over the place. Some of these listings are kind of confusing, and you just need someone to open up a box in front of you and give you their first impressions. Now we are going to be moving on to this flashlight right here. It's a tactical flashlight, and this is from Charvol. I don't know how that's pronounced. I'm sorry, manufacturer. I don't really know how that's pronounced, but I'm just going to say Charvol because there's a shark on there, and I assume that it sounds like shark. Now, this is a tactical flashlight, meaning that you cannot use it for any other purposes. That's silly, of course. We're going to do a live unboxing here, and I'm going to show you exactly my first impressions, and then I'm going to compare it side by side with this Nikron EDC flashlight. Ooh, which one is going to come out ahead? One of them has a lot more reviews than the other one. Oh, but already I am pleased with this unboxing. Look at that packaging. Well done. Well done. Check this out. Oh, wow. It's like I'm opening up some expensive headphones. Ooh. Oh, that's big. Whoa. Okay, that's not a little tiny dinky EDC flashlight like the Nikron over here. This Charvol is a beast. Okay. Now, there are a few things that I look for in an EDC flashlight. Wait, note, please fully tighten the cap. Oh, I wonder how many bad reviews they got. Flashlight doesn't work. You didn't tighten the cap, so they had to put a sticker on there. Behind every warning sign, there's a story. There's a story of someone who got offended, and they were just like, hey, how dare you send me a non-working flashlight? Did you tighten the cap? Great, now we got to put stickers on these. So we're going to put the included, wow, this is a 21,000, no, 5,000 milliamp hour. Okay, 5,000. I thought it was 21,000. I was like, you can't smash that many MAHs, milliamp hours. Is that what it stands for? I don't know. If you guys know what it stands for, let me know. All right. Now we're going to tighten this all the way. And I don't know if I put the battery in correctly. I am not even looking at the instructions. We get to, hey, it works. It works. Nice. Okay. All right. So already I turned it on like so. Okay. On, off. That's how you engage it in the back. And then it seems like I have another button right up top, right up here. Let's go ahead and click that one right here. Here we go. Oh, that's bright. Oh, that's very, oh, I can feel the heat on that. Wow, and I'm like this far away. Oh, when you hold it down, there's a strobe effect. You probably can't see the strobe very well because I'm only broadcasting at a certain frame rate. Let's hold it down again and see what happens. All right, when you hold it down again, it just remains stable. So it basically cycles through the functions when you click that. So low, medium, high, ooh, ultra high. Wow, ultra high. That ultra high is the one that I can actually feel. I could like cook an egg. That's awesome. So good. Okay, and so let's do this test. So right now we're on the ultra high. I don't even know what that's called, but we're gonna do off, on. Interesting. So it has a memory function. Basically, it doesn't revert back to square one when you turn it off. That's cool. Fantastic. Oh, that is nice. That is solid. Ooh, that gets warm. It actually has a little emblem that says hot. So if you're getting this flashlight, keep in mind this has some throw to it. That is powerful, outstanding. And so how you charge this is with USB, and that is in contrast to the Nikron over here, which we're going to cover in just a moment. That's just a conventional AA battery like so. But this appears to be a USB-C on the Charvol S1. Nice, very, very nice. Okay, one other thing that I wanted to know was the actual clip itself, because some of these clips, they're they're not the greatest, but yeah, that has, I can pull that in and out of my pants multiple times, keeping this appropriate. Let's actually really yank it and rip that off. Okay, so if I pulled that off like so, and if I rotated it around, let's see if that still fits. And there's a reason for rotating that around, because now I could effectively put this on the bill of a baseball cap and turn this into a headlamp. Interesting. I don't think it's obviously designed for that, but in a pinch, you could rotate that around. Now we're going to just rotate it around like normal, because I prefer to have my flashlight straight down. And that's nice that it doesn't actually turn on using this, because when this is in your pocket, the last thing you want to do is hit this button right here and turn on the ultra bright mode, and all of a sudden your pants are catching on fire, right? So the only way to turn that on and off is this guy up here. That's nice. That is so bright. I can feel the heat. That's amazing. So if you're looking for a security flashlight, something to put in your junk drawer in case you hear a bump in the middle of the night, or if you put it by your bed stand in the event of an emergency, I'm gonna flip this over like so. Comes with this little case like so. You can put it, you could put that on your tactical vest if you'd like. That appears to be the right dimensions. That threads right through the molly. Nice. Okay. And then, of course, the actual instructions themselves, which I completely disregarded. My apologies, Charval, but this is live, and I want to make sure that we jump right into the fun stuff. Oh, it has a tether on it as well, kind of a little springy tether. So if you're running and gunning, wait. There's a little tether there. This isn't the tether. This is the actual, what? Oh, it is a tether. Okay. All right, I was wondering, how in the world do you charge this thing? Does it even come with a USB-C charger? It does not. Wow, well, it comes with a spare O-ring, so in the off chance that your O-ring fails, that's kind of bizarre to send a flashlight and no USB charging cable. I mean, the USB charging cable has got to cost you like 15 cents, right? And they didn't provide it. Okay. Am I missing something? Did you guys see something drop when I opened this? Nope. Okie dokie. So if you buy this thing, you might want to actually buy a USB-C charging cable, because they don't provide one. I mean, I guess the main product is the flashlight itself, but really, you don't include a charging cable? Anyway, we won't marinate too much on that. Just kind of not the greatest of impressions when I can't charge my flashlight unless I actually have an existing USB-C cable, which I do. So I'm not going to throw too many stones there. Now, I actually want to point out this Charval S1 side by side this Nikron. And I want to do that because this Nikron, you can actually see in, there it is right there, flashlight Nikon N7. You can see it in the carousel below. This is unique because this one, of course, is much, much bigger. We're going to remove this sticker. That sticker's getting in my way. Does it leave residue? The Charval S1 does not leave sticker residue. Yay! And we celebrate. All right. By the way, I went to Disneyland a long time ago, and they said, celebrate, celebrate me. And it was just the weirdest gimmick ever. It's like, who in the world wants to celebrate me? I know they were trying to be really politically correct, and they're like, we can't celebrate any holidays because we're going to alienate people. So they're like, let's celebrate me. So wherever we went in Disneyland that year, it was just kind of this tongue-in-cheek, hi, folks, what are you celebrating? And my dad would scream, me! Who does that? My dad does. Love him dearly. Okay, so this is the Nikron flashlight right here. And we're going to go ahead and turn that on. So how you turn this on is on the side. So you got to be careful. If this is in your pocket, I would carry this EDC, this in your pocket with the light straight up, because it's easy to bump this thing on the side. And if it is face down like so, and you accidentally bump it on the side, all of a sudden you're going to be going, I smell something burning, and it's going to be your flashlight. So So orient this upward like that. Now, what I do like about the Nikron is, check this out. You can rotate it like this and it achieves a 90-degree angle. This is awesome if you are a worker you've got some bibs on, or maybe you're an office manager and you've got a shirt pocket. I don't right now. But this slips right in like so, and it achieves this light right in front of you. And then also it does have this reversible clip similar to the Charvel, which would allow you to clip this onto a baseball cap and effectively turning your baseball cap into a headlamp. Isn't that amazing? So that clip does that. That clip is reversible back and forth, and it does appear that it is magnetic as well. Let's test this. It is. Look at that. What? So if you're a car mechanic, oh, this is it for you. Look at that. Now, the Charvel is not magnetic. Well, that's because they have the button on the back, which I actually would prefer the button on the back. But this is cool. So that's why the button is on the side, because they've got this magnet there. And then we're going to turn it on by holding it down. So it's not just one click, it's a hold down. So I guess that's a safety feature right there. Unless you're like leaning up against your pocket, odds are you're probably not going to turn this on. But check this out. So let's say you're on the side of the road, you can't see your engine. Oh no, what's going on? You put this anywhere because your car is probably magnetic, unless of course the major metal parts, or it's plastic, Tesla owners. Ooh. So you take it like this and you stick it right there, okay, because it's magnetic. And then look at this. It rotates 90 degrees, kind of like one of those military flashlights, the old fashioned ones that are like L's. You know those ones? Look at that. And now you can just set and forget, and you have a hands-free operation. That is cool. And that is why the Nikron is such a highly rated flashlight. But one more thing that you got to keep in mind about the Nikron is you need a AA battery nearby. Because, matter of fact, right before this broadcast, I actually tested this and it was dead. Now, thankfully, I didn't need a USB-C plug to plug this in, which if you are coming home every single day, it's easy to just plug in your EDC stuff right there, which stands for everyday carry, in case you guys aren't familiar with that term. But this would just allow you to unscrew it like so, this Nikron flashlight, and out pops the AA battery. And it just takes one AA battery. That's cool. That's very cool. So I would say if you were more off the grid, let's say up in a cabin somewhere, the Nikron would probably be best, simply because you can surround yourself with hundreds of these cheap AA batteries. This one is just an Amazon Basics battery, and it'll suffice just nicely. I would say if you're a more urban survivalist and you're around power more likely, then I would go with the Charvel, because then you can simply open up that little rubber plug and plug in the USB-C cable. Nice, huh? Isn't this fun? This is so much fun. Hey, let's actually move on to some other real-world examples of me using some of these devices out in the real world, because that's, as I mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, that's really what makes me unique. I actually show some B-roll of some of this stuff working. So we're going to start off right there with a power tool, shall we? Of course we shall. And so this is the Dewalt Reciprocating Saw, also called a Sawzall, which is the trademarked brand. So Dewalt can't say that. They have to say reciprocating, okay? So this is a real world example of me actually using this outside building our urban chicken coop. Yeah, we did. Hello, Amazon.com. It's me, Bo Shevasu. Today I am coming to you with this minimalist Sawzall. You can see that this is much shorter than conventional Sawzalls. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the battery. You just open up this thing like so, and not only can you put it in like this, but you can also rotate it like so. So if you are in a tight space and you need to have it either horizontal or vertical, you could do just that. That's fairly unique to have that versatile of a reciprocating saw to be able to turn that blade 90 degrees. So as a matter of fact, we're gonna keep it in that horizontal position like so. Let's go ahead and slap the battery on. Typically the batteries do not come with this. I have the 20 volt 5 amp, and this thing is a beast. I just cut the... And you can see that battery in the description down below in the carousel. All of those posts all the way down the way, and it is still rocking. So let's go ahead and slide that in. It does have a safety switch like so. When you push that, you can see the red, and that indicates
then we are ready to rock. Okay, so I would recommend hearing protection and eye protection. This thing
That's
is
right,
loud.
Bo.
I got
Be
through
careful.
just
Be
4
careful.
almost, and already
Safety's
my
in my
ears
top
are ringing because it's right
Maybe
there.
top 10.
It's loud, and as you well know,
It is loud,
hearing
so
loss is
obviously.
cumulative and permanent. Hey, what'd you say? You can see I just mounted it flat like so. We're gonna line it up very carefully. And once it's in position, because man, once you start cutting this thing, there is really no turning back. Here we go.
It is true. These reciprocating saws are not necessarily designed for fine, precise cuts. Because the blade flops all over the place, but it's powerful and it works, especially in a farm type situation.
Butter. This thing is an absolute must when it comes to demolition, or if you have an urban chicken coop like we do, absolutely love this thing.
Isn't that cool? That's pretty neat, huh? Right. So I can actually show you guys how these products are actually working out in the field, outside of the studio. Now, some of you guys love the unboxing, love seeing the first impressions because there's something therapeutic about ripping something open for the first time, and you get to see things. Like, for example, my first impressions when I found out that the Dewalt Flashlight did not come with a USB-C charging cable. Like, wow, really? That's lame. But now you can actually see the tool outside. And I as a consumer appreciate that, because you can only see so much about reading the back of a box saying, well, according to the instructions, it says this. And I used to work at Costco a long time ago, and that's what we were trained to do. If you were working in electronics, someone would come in and say, I have a question about this TV. All you would do is turn the TV box around and just read everything off of the back. And all of a sudden, the customer thought you were just this brilliant person who knew so much about electronics. Excuse me, does this have HDMI input? You just turn it around and say, yep, it's got 4. Because that's what the box says. So I aim to not do that simply because I don't think it's beneficial. Everybody can read the actual product posting, but to actually see it being worked on live, that's what I achieve to do, and hopefully it edifies and educates and entertains you. Let's move on to another one, shall we? Ooh. Oh, this is fun. Let's take a
Laundry
listen.
room space, but the thing is that, you know, even though it's just so adorable here, I had to put my own touch, because in here is my studio space. And when I'm doing live broadcasting, I go over here and I click that right there. And oh, doesn't that just look magnificent?
Yes, it does.
Incredible. And so this actually is going all along there. You can barely see the cable, and then the switch is right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off, on,
Okay.
off,
Oh, it's
on.
so satisfying.
Amazing, huh? And then I have it
Yes,
going
it
all
is.
the way down here. Now I needed to extend this cable because the cable itself only goes about this far. It's only about 6 feet in length. And so I got this cable, highly recommended, because it is a flat cable. And so I'm actually gonna
I just need to comment on the packaging real quick here. I know, but cable, high quality. Okay, thanks. Cable, high quality. Something was lost in the translation there, but safe and reliable, made with high quality materials. And it is. It is a high quality cable, but clearly their marketing was limited. They're like, what do we put on the outside of the package? We've got black ink. No color, ink, or anything. Can't put any kind of images. Cable. Not even plural, cables, because 2 cables actually came in this thing. You can see right there. These are 13-foot long flat cables. And the beautiful thing about these flat cables,
because
I'm going
it
to play
is
this
a
right here.
flat.
So you can see that it actually goes down and underneath. And then when you open up, or close the door rather, I actually hide it on the molding itself. And so this cable is effectively hidden. You look, you can barely see that. Granted, I have a whole bunch of messy cables above there, so I'm kind of being hypocritical. Messy office, I know. But from this perspective, it looks good, doesn't it? Oh, there's all my gear on the walls. I got a lot of camera gear all over the place. I try to keep it nice, but not as nice as my wife's laundry room. Isn't that amazing? Here, check this out right there. This is the last finishing touch.
All my equipment goes off.
That's
and
right.
that goes off because this is plugged into a power strip, and that singular power strip is plugged into a singular smart plug, which I have connected to Amazon Alexa. And so when I walk in, I don't need to push a bunch of switches. All I need to say is, computer, turn on the office. And just like that,
isn't that just fantastic? Oh, that turns on, that turns on. That one does not turn on. I have issues with that light, but it's a big umbrella. I have to manually turn that on. But everything else automatically turns on. Isn't that just amazing? Oh, I'm just so happy. Wow.
Including my light out there. And oh boy, I just think.
Okay, so funny story. I actually have to listen to this with headphones. I can't have this broadcasted off of my computer. Otherwise, the Alexa device in this very room right now would hear me saying the wake word, and then it would basically shut everything down, including this live broadcast. Like everything turns off, camera, lights, everything. So I have to be careful playing this specific video. Oh boy, otherwise you'd be like, where did Bo go? Well, I was trying to demonstrate this. Oh boy, excellent. Okay, hey, let's take a little break right here and actually do one more unboxing, okay? Because this was kind of some interesting first impressions that I got right here from these guys. These are plastic sheets. Now, this is kind of a bizarre thing to review, but it's entertaining nonetheless, and hopefully it edifies you. I'm gonna scroll along here and actually show you. So if you look at that listing, it says Oifo clear plastic. These made-up brand names are just slaying me. Oifo. It shows that there are 5 packages, and so you think that literally 5 packages are going to show up in the mail. No. One package shows up, and then you have stuffed inside that one package. You have 5 drop cloths. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, they stiffed me one. What? Now these are my first impressions. Did I? Oh, wait. There was one back here. That was a close one, ladies and gentlemen. You almost saw me flip out for a moment. Woo. Have you ever seen Angry Bo? Angry Bo happens when he is promised 5 drop cloths and only gets 4. No, I don't do that. But one interesting thing that they provide also in here are, a nice little smiling insert. That's nice. So as you well know, I'm going to be doing drywall repair, and they give you rubber gloves. It's kind of interesting. Almost seems like I'm going into surgery here. Okay, not even like cotton work gloves. These are rubber medical latex gloves. I guess they assume that you're going to be wearing these when you're painting. But when you're painting, I don't like to wear these because they get all sweaty on the inside. I'm painting for like an hour. Why am I So maybe if they're listening to this, they'll actually get some of those nice cotton gloves, which are still super cheap. You can probably buy them for like 10 cents in bulk from these factories. But okay, that's nice that they gave me rubber gloves. That's called the pickle. Some people fail miserably at giving people the pickle. And if you've listened to this live broadcast before, you've heard me describe what a pickle is. So you go into a sandwich shop and you get something for free. And mostly it's a pickle, a giant pickle. You don't necessarily see it up on the menu. They just provide it for you for free. It's not really free. It's baked into the price. But it delights customers when you give them something extra that you otherwise wouldn't have necessarily promised. So this one they do promise. They say free gift. Something, again, lost in the translation. But so they give you rubber gloves, and that's your free gift. How's that for a free gift? I know, it's bizarre. Hey, speaking of painting, I actually wanted to show you guys also these highly top-rated paintbrushes right here. This is exactly how they come in the mail. So if you're looking to buy some of these for an artist, perhaps, it does not come in any kind of gift packaging. It comes like this. Granted, it's kind of wraps up like a bunch of ammunition. I don't know. But let's go ahead and open this up, shall we? Get our first impressions of this guy. Now, when it comes to paintbrushes, it comes individually packaged. That's nice. That's nice because you don't want to. You want to keep your that's floppy. Just a moment, I got distracted with this. Oh, that is so satisfying. Listen to this. I don't know if you can hear that. You probably can't hear that, but that is so satisfying. Oh, ergonomic. That's nice. Paint up, paint down, paint house. Oh, reference to Daniel-san. I do teach mixed martial arts, so I love Karate Kid. This is just so cool. So that's kind of the medium-sized one right in the middle. Let's go to the other extreme, and we're going to actually look at, did I just rip it out the bottom? I think you're actually supposed to store them in this package. Sorry, Liz, my dear wife, if you're listening to this. Hey, this is the little guy. Oh, that's nice. Oh, nice little details, all the trim work that you're going to be doing in your house. Wait, I see a little guy kind of sticking up there. Oh, we're going to pull that out. It's like pulling out a gray hair. Why would you do that? Don't pull out your gray hairs. Celebrate those. You have a lot of experience in life, and you should celebrate those gray hairs. I have a few on my chinny chin chin. Okay, so that's the little guy right there. Lastly, let's go to the other opposite extreme and open up the big one here. Oh, that would be nice for painting fences outside. That is so soft and high quality. Wow. Okay. So one thing that I wanted to see was the actual quality of the metal itself to see if I could bend that. And I can't really do that. I want to know how thin it was. Basically, is it just wrapped in tin foil? But that is really, really good quality. Pro grade supplies. Nicely done. And it says Vermeer on there. And if I were to hold that, that's nice and ergonomic. So there you go. These are my first impressions opening up these paintbrushes, which you can see linked in the carousel down below. That is very, very helpful to actually see, throwing things around, to actually see how it comes packaged. That is so cool. You know what? Let's just pull out the rest of these as well. Oh, it comes with a little stubby guy. Oh, that's cute. So I guess that's in case you want to get in small little spaces and you don't have the luxury of having a longer handle. So it appears to be pretty much the same type, basically the same brush. They just elongated the handle on this one, and they kept this one small. So this one's going to be a bit more difficult to hold, but if you're in a tight space doing all sorts of cut lines and cut work, then you would have this little guy. Or if your son or daughter is helping you, you can go, hey, go ahead. By the way, I did actually read to my two daughters. I read them Tom Sawyer. And do you remember that part in Tom Sawyer where he's got a paintbrush? And this reminds me straight out of it. And he's whitewashing the fence, and he's painting the fence white. And this little boy from the neighborhood is standing there eating his apple, and he's like, Tom Sawyer, you're always working, you're always doing chores for your aunt. And Tom says, what are you talking about? This isn't a chore. I'm having fun. Go away. I'm having too much fun here. And the little boy's like, yeah, right. You're just basically using reverse psychology on me. I'm not going to fall for that. And but Tom Sawyer gets so into it, and he's being meticulous and looking at this. And finally, and Tom Sawyer is an amazing book because Mark Twain wrote it phonetically. So you're actually reading it in a legit Southern accent. And so this little boy's like, hey, Tom, give me that brush. Let me try that. And Tom's like, no, I can't let you do this. Aunt May, was it Aunt May? Yeah, not Aunt B. Aunt B's from the Andy Griffith Show. And so there's Tom Sawyer saying, I am just having the time of my life. This is so much fun, and I haven't been entrusted to this, and so nobody else can paint as good as me. And the little boy's like, oh, I can do it, Tom. I can do it. Come on. I'll give you my apple. And of course, how the story goes is that Tom Sawyer, at the very end of the chapter, not only gets this little neighborhood boy to paint the fence for him, but he leans up against a tree and eats the apple and has a nap. Isn't that brilliant? So brilliant. I love these kids stories. So that's what reminds me right here of, these paintbrushes. This is a fun broadcast, so you get fun stories like that, as well as see cool things like so. All right, let's make sure that we are not missing anything in the carousel down below. Let's hop right into some B-roll footage, some stuff that I've actually done outside so you can see if in fact this works. If you have a barbecue like me, You're probably out there with a whole bunch of baked on yucky meat from over the years. And so I used this stuff right here, Goo Gone Grill Cleaner. And this stuff is awesome. I wanted to actually show you guys a side-by-side comparison using a control. Actually, I'm just going to play it. I'll just narrate it, shall we? So here we go. So there's me outside on my deck. And you'll see in the upper right that I sprayed a lot of suds on this thing. So on the left is the control. And on the right, I'm going to be putting this Goo Gone stuff on there to see if, in fact, you practice what you preach. Now, this is a fairly new grill. This is a cast iron grill. And so, which means you're not supposed to use soapy water. And also you're supposed to take it off of the barbecue. You're not supposed to leave it on there because they don't want you to burn chemicals and those chemicals to get into your food. Obviously, that's just not safe. And as mentioned before, safety's in my top 10. See, it dropped from top 5 to top 10. So here I am. I'm just going to douse it completely. And then what's actually satisfying about this stuff, you can actually hear it sizzling, almost like vinegar and baking soda. It's doing this. Oh, it's just so much fun. So let's go ahead and turn up the volume.
Just some down there. That's good enough, right? Okay, let's go ahead and set the clock for, they say between 2 and 10 minutes. We're gonna do it about right in the middle, roughly speaking, and just say 5 minutes, okay? So I will see you in 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go ahead and rub this off and see if, in fact, they practice what they preach. All right, guys, I have absolutely no idea what to expect, but it looks like all the suds have gone down, and it looks like there's still quite a bit of grease on there. I mean, obviously, because I have to come along here and hopefully... I mean, it's come off.
Yeah,
oh, wow,
it
it's
is.
actually coming up. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's satisfying.
Oh, wow.
Look at how clean that is. Work it. Yeah, isn't it just satisfying?
That's why this stuff is so highly rated.
Yeah, Goo Gone is just amazing stuff. I mean, when we first moved to our house, the people before our house didn't necessarily take the greatest care of it. And so they had graffiti, like outside. So I used Goo Gone and I got rid of the graffiti using not necessarily this exact stuff, but the same brand. And you'll see with the control, I go along and I rub with just as much force. And it actually is like sandpaper. It takes some of the paper towel off. The last thing you want is more residue on there. So it did get some of it off, but not as much as the Goo Gone. And this stuff is absolutely amazing. So if you have a barbecue, absolutely add this to your cart. You will thank me later. Not meaning to try to oversell you on anything. Maybe you use something else. Maybe you have a different cleaner. But for me, man, this stuff works so well. So now I'm just going to douse everything and just clean it all with the Goo Gone. And got a little on the deck right there. They're not that harmful of chemicals. It actually smells like citrus. It smells quite nice as opposed to oven cleaner, which just kills the lungs. So yeah, this stuff, I'm pleased to report back to you guys that, as you can see in this pre-recorded B-roll, practices what it preaches. Oh, and then in the text up there, you can't quite see it. I put that for the benefit of other people, basically saying if it's a cast iron grill, and some of these are cast iron, you don't really want this stuff to sit on there too long because you want your grill to be seasoned. And you don't want hot soapy water to soak up all that soap because then your grill is going to taste like soap. But this, nope. Our hot dogs and hamburgers taste absolutely delicious even after this. Nice, very nice. And okay, so in the carousel below, we have the Zodiac Flea and Tick Shampoo. That is a teaser because you're going to have to look at another broadcast of me actually bathing our giant black and white cat. His name is Lippy because he has a little spot on his lip, and it is absolutely hilarious review. But that's just a spoiler right there. We're actually going to jump ahead to one of our last products because I am pleased to report that we have an urban chicken coop in our backyard, and I'm going to actually show you this thing put together. You want to see it? Of course.
Everybody, I wanted to share with you guys this quick tip on how to install your run chicken on your chicken coop. Now, you could have an urban chicken coop, something like
Isn't that just a great looking urban chicken coop? Now, this door right here is unique because it is an automatic door. I didn't want to go out there every morning and evening to open up this door to let the chickens in and out. And it's just a good idea to keep them segregated from the rest of the outside world simply because possums and raccoons can come along. And this automatic door, go ahead.
So you need to take into account all that space. So that's the reason why for most of these smaller chicken coops, this won't.
So basically what I'm saying here is look ahead, plan ahead. I think a lot of people install these things and they're surprised to see the door go up that high. So you'll see in this very, very last little bit, I trimmed some wire, which is so satisfying. I'm actually going to go ahead and finish that. And right there. Oh, it's gone. That's nice. All right. Cool. Okay, that's nice. So also in this chicken coop, it fits perfectly these automatic feeders, these waters. And if you're looking for urban chickens, I mean, this fits 3 perfectly. I have the link to this exact chicken coop in my description below, and you can go ahead and take advantage of eggs for cheap. It's great off the grid living while you're living technically on the grid, if that makes sense. It's good to be autonomous, especially when you see how people react during a crisis. I mean, how many of you went out and panicked and got toilet paper? Shame on you. Shame. Oh, that will forever go down in history as just something where it's like, Dad, what happened to the pandemic of 2020? Well, daughter, everybody went out to get toilet paper, and probably most of us still actually purchase toilet paper still here on Amazon.com, which I do. They sell everything, and that's just automated now. So there you go. I want to scroll through here and make sure absolutely that I covered everything in this live broadcast. Yes, 100% of products in the carousel down below have been covered. And that basically concludes this thing. And we're going to do the nice little ending slide. Where's my ending slide? Is it that? Oh, I do live video games. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, but we're not going to do live Call of Duty right now because I have overwhelmed you with enough fantastic information. Be sure to follow me. That's the only thing I ask of you. You don't even have to buy anything that I'm telling you to. All you have to do is follow me, and that means the world. Already my followers are exploding here on Amazon Live. I'm really actually quite blown away. And so in response to that, I'm going to say thank you in the chat down below. And that's it. That concludes today's live broadcast, August 18th. It is 5:22 p.m. in the afternoon here in Seattle, Washington, broadcasting live. Bo Shevasu. Remember, you are made special. God loves you very much, and so do I.